Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly timeframes. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Go to our website, sign up for our free membership for more videos like this, live streaming sessions, trade alerts, and all that good stuff. So, all right, daily SPY, let's get right into it. And, off this bullish pattern, stayed above the 20 MA, and pop goes the weasel, and we get one last pop. They reverse it down with 3 follow-through days. Light volume, so I wouldn't really call them a heavy follow-through, but got to keep an eye on these markets. We're right back into this upper trend line here. Let's see if we can continue down, fill this gap, and maybe go back down to the 20 MA. If you're bullish, you want to get back above these trend lines here and the 238.36 area, and then shoot for double top 240. That's the other thing. We got to the even number. Next level would be 242.40, and then we'll take it from there. But again, now we're waiting for, does it set up sideways for the next leg down, or do we retrace right back up and try to make new all-time highs? That's what we're watching for. On the weekly chart, still early in the week, but we can look at last week's close. Last week's close, it was pretty strong. Volume, I'd like to see a little bit heavy. It wasn't terrible. It was a little bit more, but it's been terrible for the last, 3-4 weeks, or actually 8-9 weeks. And then today, we'll see at the end of this week. But if we do reverse and end up coming down, then we're looking for lower prices, of course. But again, daily chart, we're going to at least see how that thing sets up, and we'll take it from there. Light volume still, 64 million on a day, pretty pathetic. Now the IWM, let's go to the daily really quick. Now the IWM, we're kissing the 50 MA, it closed a little bit above. The orange is the 50, the red is where price closed today. So it was a little bit weak on the day. We were down 90 cents, nothing crazy. What was the percentage change? It was 6.65%, so nothing crazy. So, but again, we're sitting on top of this 50, and we're sitting on top of this gap fill here. We filled the gap, and it closed a little bit below it, I believe. Hold on, let's see. And with that to say, let's bring it down a little bit. Right there. Yeah. Oh, man, it pretty much closed right on, a little bit under, just like the SPY. So we're at gap fill, 50 MA. This thing could bounce up. We're going to see how strong this is. It hasn't kissed it in a couple of weeks. It's been hitting the 20, but at first hit of this could possibly bounce. If we gap lower tomorrow and continue, then we're looking for gap fill down here and gap window at 135.35, and then possibly if we get to the low end of this range after we came out of this channel, a little bit bullish channel, popped up, just could never get above the 140 area. Now starting to pull back a little bit. But again, nothing wrong with these charts. Still strong, above the 50 MA, still above the 200, but be aware, this thing's been floating around for a long time. We're due for a nice little pullback, in my opinion. Let's get right to the Qs. The weeklies we'll do at the end of the week. And the monthlies, I'll probably do on a weekend one day and just make videos on the monthlies. But the monthlies really didn't tell us too much. I mean, they were kind of stretched. This month will be the big one, guys, for the monthlies. But today we'll just do dailies. So the Qs, again, nothing wrong. It popped up, try to break out when everything else was. Pulled back here, still above the MAs. You know what? I got to see it fill this gap and then possibly come down to the 20 MA. If it does that, then we'll see how it reacts. If it gaps below and just keeps going, then we're going to, then it's this trend line here basically that we're watching for. Here, let me, if I can actually get this to work. So let's pull this here. So that's what we're watching too for support. So, as it's coming in, if it does, we'll stick fib level right here as well, just to have something in there. Yeah. So you're going to have a lot of support coming up. So just be aware of that. If this thing starts to go down. If you're long still, you want to get above the all-time high, which is 131.68. Go for the 132 and then start shooting higher. Maybe 33, 34, maybe 135, maybe, but we got to see it. I mean, it is setting up bullish still on here, but the other charts are starting to break down a little bit too much. But we'll have to, keep an eye. The DIA is pretty much the same pattern. Popped up, pulled back. The SPY pulled back a little deeper. The IWM did, but there's still nothing wrong above all the MAs. I got to see a little more evidence that this thing's going to be coming in. Still light volume on the day. Nothing really going on. So there's been some pretty good trades out there, guys. I can't complain with that. So IYT, this one was beat down pretty good today, $1.95 or 1.15%. So remember, these are the leaders, the IWM and the IYT. If these aren't leading, then you better look out. Better step aside, guys. So we did close right on top of this line, 167.79. That's been a big point where it's been trying to get above. holds up, and now it's coming right back into it. So if that passes through 50 MA, double bottom here, you have a gap fill, but ultimately it's going to be gap fill down here with this line to see how this reacts. If that does pierce through, then we'll probably go double bottom and then look out. Markets will probably be dumping, and you better look out. If you're long, you need to get it back above these 20 MA and then shoot for the all-time high right at 173.88. If it gets past that, I'm thinking 175, then we probably go 177.50, then 180 possibly if it gets there. Every time it comes in a double top, it's having a little bit of problems until to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm done. Then it reverses, and next thing you know, it's coming down. I still think we could get to the 150 area or gap fill right down in here around 144.85 if this thing starts to rumble. So just keep an eye on that. I like the setup here. Still not getting through that 173, 74 area. I want, come on, show me that you can do this stuff. Pop it through and let's go. If you can't, then, roll over and let's get this game over with so we could go long again. That's me at least. When there's a time to go long, we'll go long. Right now we're short, and let's keep rocking and rolling this stuff. All right, so the USO, same stuff. You know what? Just chopping around, trying to make a run for the 50 MA and the 20 MA again. It just pulled right back below the 750 retrace, which was the 250 going up. Still the low channel from this bottom here to this top in this area here, but we're still holding that Fibonacci from the high into the low over here. But it's just channeling up and down, up and down. We're in the lower part of it, lower, 60 percentile part. Let's see if we can, attack the 200 MA. If that cracks, I still think oil's going lower. And I think we're going to get around the 10 bucks, and maybe, gosh, if we get lucky enough, we'll get the 986 area. If it gets down there, then we'll think about, what we should do or how it sets up. But if you're bullish oil, you got to get above all these all-time highs. You got to get above the, let's see, what about the 1164 area? Then you're talking 1177. Then you're talking 12 bucks. If it gets past 12, then you're probably going to 1245. So that would be the next level here. But right now, nothing wrong, but starting to get slightly weak on this side with being below the moving averages, down and sideways a little bit. So let's see how this plays out towards the end of the week. That's the USO. The UUP. UUP again, nothing wrong. It was down. It was up a little bit today, nothing crazy, but it's back above the 50 MA and the 20 MA. They popped it about 5 days ago, chopping around. We're still at resistance at the 6.5 or the 618 at 26.37. So we'll see if we can stay above the 50 here, right around the 26.24. So if that starts to break upwards, I'm thinking at least 26.53 to this pivot. If it really starts going, we're going to fill this gap and then go right back to double top. Double top goes, it's going to go 27.21, then probably around 28, then around 29. Those are the levels we're looking at that. If you are bearish on the dollar and you're looking, you have to get back below these areas, the 20 and the 50 MA, and fill this gap, and then probably set up sideways and possibly go. If the dollar just falls, then you're looking at, your gap fills, your gap fill here, your double bottom, your 200 MA. Of course, the MAs too are support here too as well, but we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much it for the UUP. Yeah, as long as it stays above here, it should start moving up. If it gets back below the MAs and look for some lower prices, we'll see. It'll be interesting as we get towards Janet Yellen's meeting and all that good stuff. So a little bit of manipulation is going to be going on, guys and girls. Gold continues to go on its way down, 94 cents, and I guess we're going towards the 115 area. You got a gap fill down here too, around 115.15. That's what stocks like to usually do, is fill the gaps. Or do we stay at gap window and just yeah, we did close above it, so that could we'll keep an eye on this. If we gap lower, we'll probably go into the 50 MA and then possibly bounce. If it doesn't do that, then gosh, I guess we could go down to 113 or so. 114 gap fill. There's a couple of other things down here. So, but right now, just a shallow pullback, kind of like here. Let's see if it stops, and tomorrow will be a new piece of the puzzle. We'll take it from there. Weekly chart on gold. We've been talking about that area, the 200 MA and the 50 MA, that if we go into this area, that could possibly pull back, and that's what it's doing. We're coming down here. We're filling the gap on the GLD on the weekly, but we're not officially doing it on the daily. Let's see. Yeah, because you got the gap right here, right around 115.18. So you got a little bit more to go if it does. It, again, could have stalled out like the dollar did, where it kind of went down, almost filled the gap, and then just kept going. So just keep an eye on the GLD. If you're in it, just hold tight. Hopefully you got it down in here. A lot of people were asking me about JNUG. It might be in a little more pain if it goes down to here, but if this is a spot where it ends, this, will hopefully go right back up, get above the 20 MA, go attack the 200 MA again, and then hopefully go higher towards the 124, 125 area. So, all right, guys. Again, thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for coming to the live sessions. If you missed those, sign up for my StockBookie.com membership, and it's free. Just sign up. You'll get the email alerts. We try to do them like 20 minutes before, 10 minutes before to get some people in there. And another thing, guys, let me know what times are good for you. I'm in Phoenix. I'm going to try to do some nightly stuff too, where I could start something here around 7 o'clock. So right now it'd be 9 o'clock in New York, and then it would be 6 o'clock in Cali. I'd like to do some night stuff to see if I could get some people on board. So if you can, send me an email. Let me know what the best time is for you for this live sessions. And basically you come to them, you bring some symbols, we take a look at stuff and try to find trades for the next day. Live stuff, it's all intraday, where we're putting on trades, we're doing some scalp trades, we're just trying to make money as well. All right, guys, follow me on StockTwits, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, sign up for my membership. The membership's going to be the best way to go because eventually it will all be on the membership and nothing else, and you'll get the email alerts or the text alerts or whatever. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. We did a live one for 3 hours, which was great. Came up with some good trades. We took Chipotle long at the end of the day. Got a buck 54 out of it or something right in there. Some people got a little bit more if they bought a little bit lower, so that was a pretty good trade. And honestly, it could go up tomorrow too, which it possibly could. So, all right, guys, thanks again for coming to my videos. I really appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.